Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Cannon, and this is my partner, Edgar Olosagaste Mendez. We are here today presenting a research project we did in our class for online learning titled Fostering Video-Based Interaction Beyond the Classroom, a Chance for L2 Negotiation. As part of a project involving Talk Abroad, we did a little bit of background work on a program using Talk Abroad for computer-mediated communication. And studies on L2 classroom interaction suggest that collaborative, cooperative, and comprehensible interactions facilitate L2 learning in the classroom. However, the nature of the L2 classroom environment has restricted the range of interaction that occurs among learners of the same proficiency, as its settings provide little room for interaction. Additionally, the present study seeks to investigate the nature, scope, and possible patterns of negotiation routines during native speaker and non-native speaker interactions. And again, as part of a project involving Talk Abroad, the corpus analyzed for this exploratory study comprises 6 video conferencing conversations between 4th and 5th semester Spanish L2 learners. The data was analyzed within the framework of negotiation of meaning, following a model of non-understanding put forth by Veronis and Gass. Preliminary results indicate that synchronous computer-mediated communication, or moving forward, SCMC, language tools promote interaction and may provide beneficial potential benefits for L2 learners outside the classroom. Learners focus on linguistic features such as taking turns, negotiation of meaning and/or form, and self-correction necessary to the development of language. These linguistic features allow learners to interact more effectively with individuals from different proficiency levels and variety of contexts. While literature has shown promise in regards to computer-mediated communication for L2 learning in different text-based CMC, little research has been conducted on video-based CMC to examine how interaction routines affect L2 learners in the development of language learning. Additionally, computer-mediated communication and SLA research shows that the interaction hypothesis could be particularly of use for CMC and language development. The interaction hypothesis stresses negotiation of meaning and collaboration between the learner and interlocutor, leading to interactional adjustments and facilitating language development. Furthermore, in the interaction hypothesis, the learner can acquire the language by noticing the gap or noticing the hole between its output and the interlocutor's corrective feedback, and by producing a modified output after the comparison. Through exposure to a meaningful input, as well as frequent interaction and breakdown of language, learners are able to further improve upon their knowledge and abilities within a language, which in turn can help them in creating communicative, meaning-based output. These interaction routines are a point in communication at which both speakers attempt to reach a mutual understanding after incomprehensible speech. Additionally, Smith explored how negotiation patterns help L2 learners when problems in communication arise during the task-based activities, and found that students spent 1/3 of their time negotiating. The data suggested that the type of tasks influenced the amount of time spent on negotiation of meaning. What is more, the results support the idea that negotiation patterns in the CMC are comparable to those seen in face-to-face communication, as in the model from Veronis and Gass. Video-based CMC encourages one-on-one interaction between the dyads that potentially promote language development beyond text-based CMC. When there are breakdowns in communication between native speaker and non-native speaker, they engage in different negotiation strategies to understand the message being conveyed. Chin and Wang in 2008 indicated video conferencing can be as effective as face-to-face language courses, while demonstrating that certain tools exclusive to computer-assisted language learning, or CALL, could aid in language practice. Kitajima's 2013 video-based study on communication showed that there were clear interlanguage developments for non-native speakers during interactions with native speakers. Vanderswaard and Bannock in 2014 showed that both synchronous video conferencing as well as synchronous video chat produced several negotiation of meaning episodes, with each creating their own distinct form of negotiated interaction to reach a resolution. Additionally, with this study, we actually focused a lot of our own study on this Vanderswaard and Bannock study. Within this study, Vanderswaard and Bannock identified negotiation of meaning during interactions between 16 pairs of native speakers and non-native speakers of English during synchronous task-based activities utilizing both video conferencing as well as text chat. The results of the study showed that both synchronous video conferencing as well as synchronous video chat produced several negotiation of meaning episodes, with each creating their own distinct forms of negotiated interaction. Computer-mediated communication can be defined as any real-time or delayed communicative interaction between or among people that happens through the use of technology equipment in order to take advantage of networks technology capability. Additionally, it is one of the most researched uses of technology for language learning in the last 20 years. CMC interaction exists in two modes, synchronous and asynchronous, and can take different forms: text-based, audio-based, video-based, or even as a combination of all of the above. In the context of foreign language and/or L2 learning, video-based tools such as Talk Abroad, Metalingua, Skype, Google Duo, or Zoom have been found to promote interaction routines, speaking skills, repair moves, and could specifically be useful for providing L2 learners with opportunities for contact with native speakers outside of the classroom. For the present study, we created a small-scale descriptive study of computer-mediated communication interaction between native speaker and non-native speaker dyad pairs working together in a video conferencing environment, Talk Abroad, which Edgar will speak about here briefly in the next couple of minutes, while attempting to demonstrate that the use of video-based CMC provides communication exchange as it closely resembles face-to-face interaction. Furthermore, this investigation is motivated by recent studies done on video-based CMC and the role of learning from L2 learners' exchanges and negotiations with the native speakers. I'm going to pass it off to Edgar now, and he's going to be speaking about our research questions.
Thank you, Brandon. The research questions for this study are: the goal of the present study is to describe the interaction between native speakers and non-native speakers in video-based CMC Talk Abroad to see if they have interactions conducive to language learning. As such, we addressing the following questions. How do learners negotiate meaning and form during video conferencing conversations with native speakers? Do learners primarily focus on lexical or grammatical items? Is there a difference in how fourth semester and fifth semester Spanish students negotiate their interactions with native speakers via conferencing? For this study, this is our following methodology. Participants, we have 6 L2 students enrolling in a semester-long 15-week Spanish courses. 3 students were enrolled in their 4th semester of English Spanish, while the remaining 3 students were enrolled in the 5th semester of an upper-level Spanish course. Students were enrolled in Spanish courses at Lash Public University in the Midwest. Students completed their conversations with 6 native speakers from different Hispanic countries and backgrounds. The instruments we use for this study is Talk Abroad. To complete the assignments, the students use Talk Abroad, an online communication software, to carry out 30-minute conversations with native speakers of Spanish. Talk Abroad is a website that provides conversation partners in order for learners to complete conversations practice for universities, colleges, or high schools. For each conversation, students were given a choice of 1 of 4 topics, each of which were related to their textbook content, like school, technology, etc. The procedure for this study was: the L2 participants choose a native speaker of Spanish based on their selective of native speakers through Talk Abroad profiles of trained native speakers. The students were then asked to carry out 2 oral assignments throughout the course using the video conferencing tool for 30 minutes. During the conversations, students were tasked with asking questions they had written beforehand, each conversation focusing on a different topic. The data were collected from the students' performances on the first and the four oral assignments in video conferencing. For our analysis, the negotiation routines were coded, organized, and categorized using the model put forth by Baronis and Gass from 1985. Based on Baronis and Gass' 1985 aforementioned model, the negotiation process is activated when there is a trigger or a source of misunderstanding. Next, an indicator acknowledges the problem, which signals the start of the breakdown in interaction. Once the problem has been recognized by the indicator, the response attempts to solve the misunderstanding. Lastly, there is an optional step that might take place as a response to the response of solutions given. This is an example that we have from our transcriptions. The negotiation routine started by the native speaker has lexical trigger polemica, and it appears in the form of a question. This starts the resolution process with the indicator that acknowledges the problem in the conversation throughout an explicit statement of non-understanding by asking for clarification. Next, a response is followed by the native speaker expanding on the definition. Finally, the non-native speaker acknowledges that some understanding has occurred as a result of the breakdown. Preliminary results indicate that synchronous computer-mediated communication language tools promote interaction, might provide potential benefits for L2 learners outside the classroom. The negotiations routines in our data seem to be shaped and influenced by the participants' speaking skills.
Thank you for viewing our presentation. We'll be happy to answer any questions now that you may have about our project. And I'd like to thank you all for your help. I really appreciate it. And we will now be taking questions.